Hey YouTube, I just wanted to give you a shot of my last project. Made a sheet metal fish. And it's got contours and all that stuff. And a little chain here to hang it. And just getting ready to etch my name and whatever in it, and kind of go over how I made it. And I'll glue one of my business cards on the back of it too. And I'll throw that in there like that, and then they'll know where to get it. Pretty awesome, huh? Yeah, it didn't really go through the process because I wasn't sure what I did or how I was going to do it. And next one I'll get I'll get the how-tos of what I did. Well, basically I drew out my fish on the sheet metal with a Sharpie, and wherever I had to change it, I just used rubbing alcohol to wipe the marker off. You got a permanent marker there. I found out it's alcohol's great for taking. It's on there now. And get some rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol takes it right off. So, if your kids get a hold of a Sharpie and mark stuff up, and if it's a smooth, clean surface, try rubbing alcohol on it. That'll get, it usually takes it right off. A quick little tip for you. And after I got it on there, cut it out with aviation snips, and I got a Throatless Shear over here. I did most of that with sorry about the camera, but yeah, there's the Throatless Shear there. Works great on bigger stuff, cutting things out, and then on the little nooks and crannies I just used my aviation snips where I needed to trim. Those aviation snips aren't all that great cutting through big sheets of metal. And if you have to cut metal with cut through a bigger piece, I'll get a little piece to keep it from these are designed mostly for trimming around edges or trimming on lines, and well, if you got to, and you don't want to distort your metal, you get in through here. I should have done the other way. That's everything where they cut through. You don't want to distort your metal, and this is all you got. You can run them side by side. Gives you a little more scrap, but as you can see, leaves the edge real nice and ripply. And if you tried to go through this way, you'd be bending up the metal too much. On this side, when they're right and left, it's which way the metal cuts off. So if I had to cut on this side of the metal and trim, like this corner, I wanted it round, and just get it that way, and your edge stays nice. And this side, it'd be for this side, and that's where the right and the left comes in. So however you want to kick your edges off, and then that's minimally distorted. So that's the big difference between right and left. On your aviation snips, the right and the left depends on what side your scrap's coming off of. It can be the same thing with the straight ones too. They're shaped a little different. These are more designed to go around curves or radiuses, and then these are for straight lines if you have to go down through and then do this side. But you still want your trim to be on that side that you cut off of. So if I wanted to trim the straight side of this one and go straight, it tend to be more like a pair of scissors. See how it's kicking off there? I don't know if you can. Yeah, see how it's kicking off there? So that's how you want to do your trim. But if you got to cut a big piece of metal with these, you can use the right and left to cut down the center of it if you need to. There's a couple tricks for today. Now I'll leave it at that. That's a good enough video for aviation snips. Now it depends on how you cut with them too. You don't want to twist them because your metal won't cut. You want to try to hold them just right on the blade. You need them nice and level to get them to cut properly. And then so you can see this too. That's where my trim's at, so this one's what I call. You just take a little bit at a time and get a nice straight edge. I'd use them if I was cutting, but if I needed to cut this side and couldn't get my green ones in, it'd be the same with this side too. So you get your distortion on what you're trimming or your scrap there. And it usually curls over. And sometimes if it's down, it's good to hold on there and pull on that a little bit to let it come off. I know a lot of people still have confusion about the right and the left aviation snips. But it's just basically which direction you need your trim part go off. And cutting both edges, you can see that's my work piece. There's minimal distortion going across the cut instead of it being all bowed and whatever. And that's where the shears come in handy. The throatless shears come in handy too. I don't do production work or anything, but set it up a little better there. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I don't have very much light there. Very good. Yeah, it might work. Yeah, there we go. You got a good shot of that. So it's be the same if you had to cut this. Just kind of work it through. You can do straight cuts. Don't get very much distortion. And you can do curved. You get radiuses. And then you can kind of go back the other way too if you need to. Oh, there you go. You can cut radiuses and stuff with that if you need to. So just to give you a few little tips there on cutting sheet metal. Hope that helps somebody out. Yeah, sorry about the sunlight and everything. So that's it for today. We'll talk at you later.